Monday Night Raw Hot Takes, where I take your thoughts, your opinions, your hot takes from the previous episode of Raw, SmackDown, and or PLEs. And if you want to do hot takes on alligators, well, here you go. Alligators live up to like 100 years, so that definitely increases their odds of seeing you later. All right, we got Bronson Reed here. A lot of people talking Bronson Reed. Beck. Bronson should throw the shoes on a telephone wire for authenticity's sake. I think in this scenario, Bronson Reed is the telephone pole. Then we got Ben P. Bronson Reed is running out of shoe real estate around his neck. Can't possibly fit another pair. Haha, don't tempt him with a good time. We got Francis Sumner saying, I agree to see my tribal chief versus Reed the Megalodon Whale at Clash. Did he just call? He just called him a megalodon. At Clash in Paris, and Roman Reigns, my tribal chief, kicks his butt and takes his shoes back. Yeah, looks like we're getting Roman versus Bronson Reed. We got Anthony saying, I like what they're doing with Bronson Reed so far with the tribal thief gimmick. Reina Rep says the Shula Fala is the best thing ever. I do have to admit it might be one of the best puns that WWE has ever come up with. Renee Bullock 6'9" though says, no, Roman doesn't need to fight Bronson Reed. Let someone else give his career a big push. I want to see Roman away from Seth Rollins' group. It's boring. Roman's not getting away from Seth Rollins' group. I see that as we're building probably towards WrestleMania 42, to be honest with you. And in the meantime, it looks like Roman has to go through Seth's group to get to the leader, which is surprising. I am a little surprised that Roman is not going right after the leader of the group and has to go through his minions, because it's Roman Reigns, but I am happy that Roman is fighting other people because it's unique. It's unique. I never thought Roman and Bronson Reed would fight, but what do you think? Is Bronson Reed beneath Roman Reigns? And I'm not saying that, it's difficult to say that because people get so worked up. Hear me out. It's that Bronson Reed is not a main eventer. Therefore, shouldn't Roman only be fighting main eventers? I get it. Roman has a personal beef. The guy stole his shoes twice. But what if Otis has stolen Roman's shoes twice? You would probably think to yourself, well, Otis is not on that level. Therefore, it's disrespectful for Roman to fight him, right? So that's where I'm getting at. But we got to give Bronson Reed these opportunities to build him up. But is it right? Is it right to burn one of Roman Reigns' last matches on Bronson Reed? Because honestly, Roman doesn't have a lot of matches left in him. This will probably be Roman's last singles match of 2025. Are you prepared to give Roman's last match to Bronson Reed? I am, but I want Bronson Reed fans to realize that Bronson's going to lose. All right, Bronson is in no way, shape, or form is going to steal Roman's shoes 2 times. Tell him that I'm bullying you like a 5th grader, which I loved that promo, and then proceed to beat Roman Reigns. It's not going to happen. Are you okay with that? Tell me in the comments below. A, are you okay with Bronson and Roman? B, are you okay with Roman beating Bronson? Because a lot of people might be like, oh, well, Bronson is now buried. I mean, yeah, I'm telling you, anybody who loses to Roman is not buried. It just, honestly, just being in the ring with Roman is an honor. It really is. It's kind of like when Becky Lynch fought Maxxine Dupri. Maxxine put up a fight against Becky the man, Becky who was one of the first women to ever main event WrestleMania. I mean, Maxxine Dupri was put over last night, even in loss, and that's how I view a Roman Bronson Reed match. As long as Bronson doesn't get squashed in 30 seconds, as long as the match doesn't go like this, bell ring, Superman punch, spear, 1, 2, 3, then Bronson Reed will be fine. It's okay to lose to Roman, and it's okay to lose to the champ. And if you want to be the champ, all you got to do to win this belt is comment below. At 20,000 subscribers, I'm going to give this belt away. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell, ding, 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 notification, and if you could, don't forget a like.
Did you hear about the shop? Yeah, there's a Wrestlechop shop down below. No, don't do a thumbs down. Thumbs up the video. That was just me showing you where the shop was in the description.
All right, thank you. Yeah, there is an actual shop now. So if you want a Wrestlechop t-shirt, below. All right, so here we go. Alfonso Passion. He was there in the crowd. This crowd disrespected me. I wanted them to chant "We Want Cross" to bring him back because I'm pretty sure he's not re-signing, and the crowd failed. All right, so there you have it. First-hand account. Alfonso Passion is a valued member of this community, and unfortunately, here's a dude who tried to get the Karrion Kross chant going. Didn't happen. I was surprised to not hear it, but they were in Montreal, so that might have had something to do with it. Next week, they are in Philly, though. If Philly doesn't chant "We Want Cross," then the movement is dead. I guess we gotta get back to the States for this. Russell Train, I wish Raw could have had a more creative ending instead of the same one for weeks. Maybe LA Knight brings a truck or destroys Seth's car or something. That's valid. You know what they could have done? Here's an idea. So Seth announces he's going to leave, right? But instead of tricking us, he actually does leave. But we start the match with it's just CM Punk, right? CM Punk and the Bron Breakker Bronson Reed. And here we go. So now everybody's like, "Oh, LA Knight left CM Punk to fend for himself. Can you believe it? What a jerk LA Knight is." And CM Punk just gets beat down the whole time. And then we cut to Seth Rollins about to get into his car, right? He's walking to his car, and LA Knight T-bones the car, and he gets out, and then he chases Seth Rollins down, or something like that. You get what I'm saying? So LA Knight didn't abandon CM Punk in order to just leave CM Punk to the wolves. No, LA Knight went after Seth Rollins himself, and so you're right. They could have done, that was me coming up with that on the fly. Unreal says they have 8 writers in the room plus people on Skype. You couldn't come up with a better ending than let's just repeat what we did last week. Oscar Cemental, AJ style chants in France are the reason America ruined the chant feeling for viewers at home, or is it just me? Maybe. The chant thing is a little much. I do, Roman Reigns, Roman, Cody Rhodes, Cody, and then I think there's even a Dominic Mysterio one, and it's I get it. You see something fun happening over there, you bring it over here, but yeah, it's not as special as it once was. Go Buggy says, I think the Sheamus and Rusev feud going nowhere because they keep doing the same thing, and I really don't know why they're still fighting, and I think the feud would have been good in 2015, but not 2025, and I just don't feel like they want to kill each other. Yeah, there is something missing. They're fighting a lot, but there's something missing. And you're right. This is a 2015 feud, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's just, it's 10 years later. Something needs to happen. We need to, they need to ramp it up. Someone needs to be put in a dumpster and pushed off the entry ramp. It's just, there's not enough going on. Normally, I don't advocate violence for violence sake, but when we're putting these two big dudes together, well, let there be violence. Raphael at air, number 1, Punk and Knight promo cooked. Their mic chemistry was insane, even as partners. I can only imagine how better the promos get as the rivals and bitter enemies. Yes, I do. I liked it. I do like it. Some people in my live chat were like, "Oh, they could have done better." Yeah, they could have done better. I mean, these are 2 elite talents on the mic, but I think they did good enough. They had very high expectations, I guess. But I just like seeing LA Knight kind of throwing down with people in that main event. And we're talking main event here. We're talking tip top of the card. LA Knight has arrived, hopefully, and I hope he stays in this scene. So maybe maybe after this match in Perry, maybe LA Knight and Punk can kind of segue into a side rivalry, and that would be amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed it myself personally. And number 2, Dom will be an underrated workhorse if he wins the AAA title. It would be lovely to see some of the amazing AAA wrestlers come to Raw and challenge Dom. I agree there. My only problem is if he becomes the top champion of another promotion. I don't care if WWE owns it or not. I would much prefer if Dom actually wins his WWE matches. I don't want the top belt of another promotion being like on some guy who's going to be losing every week in the lower to mid card. Does that make sense? So like I love Dom. But we gotta beef him up and actually level him up if he's gonna start winning big time titles, even if they are in other promotions. Space Ace 1Z, the man, Becky Lynch, is arguably a better heel than her husband, Seth freaking Rollins. She definitely looks better in her clothes. Yeah, you're right. She does look better in the clothes, and I wish Seth would actually dress more serious. I think it would look better if Seth was took a little more serious tone. But like, I get it. That's what brought him to the dance, whatever. But she is definitely the man right now. Becky Lynch is such a good freaking heel. There was a moment in the match where Becky holds the ropes open and she says, "Get out of my ring. You're not even worth it. You're not worth my time. You're not worth anything. Leave now." It was so funny and so disrespectful. In fact, it's like right up there with the Shula Fala. Like, for real. Get out of the ring. Mid-match, she says, "Just leave. You suck," to Maxxine Dupri. Like, that. Oh my God, that was horrible. I'm so glad that they let Maxxine have a good match, but like, Becky Lynch is next level right now. I'm so glad she leaned into this Becky Hogan narrative. It's great. Like, I want her to keep pushing younger talent down. And the crazy thing is, people are going to hear me and think that, like, oh, you want Becky to never let anybody win? No, it's for storyline purposes. Like, it's working. She's a good heel. Bishop Marley. I'm a fan of Sammy's underdog chase for the gold. I'm not crazy about him getting involved with Solo and the MFTs, but winning the U.S. title will be a good stepping stone to finally winning the big one. I know he's been Intercontinental champion. I'm not sure if he's been U.S. champion, but like, there's this huge narrative right now that everybody hates Sammy for some reason. Like, it's weird. I do agree that a fresh up for Sammy could be necessary, and I think they're trying a little too hard to make him the next Daniel Bryan, but I don't hate the guy. But woo buddy, I am a little perplexed though that we're at a point in our timeline that it takes an entire faction to keep Sammy down. I do think that he might be a little too strong. And which is weird to say Sami Zayn too strong, but like, I don't hate the chase for the world title. It's just, I'm like dreading the backlash that I'm going to hear, because I hear it all the time. Oh, Sammy sucks, Sammy's boring, Sammy's this. And I wish they would tweak his character a little now in this chase. Let him get some losses under his belt, some wins and losses. So it's not just because I want people to accept Sammy as champion. I don't want it to be another Jey Uso where where it's been like a long time coming, and then finally they win, and it's like, oh, he has 3 moves. Oh, he never loses. Oh, this, oh, that. And so I hope he doesn't win the U.S. title, though. I will say that. I hope Sammy does get a world title opportunity, but there does need to be some tweaking. Cage Williams, these roll-ups are getting out of hand. How many roll-ups have we seen in the last few months? I agree. Plus the DQ finishes. I agree. I hate the DQ finishes. I hate the roll-ups. Problem is that no matter what, if someone takes a pin, it seems like they're buried. Like, no matter what. If Punk took the pin, he's buried. If LA Knight takes the pin, he's buried. If Bronson takes the pin, he's buried. So it's like, I don't know. It's like, you're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't. don't. I don't. How do you get around that? TTJC. This Raw was what I called a building episode of Raw. They're building to a gimmick change for Bayley. They're building to Roman versus Bronson. They're building to Natalia versus Becky. They're building to Triple Mania and AJ and Dom and Perez. They're building to the Kabuki Warriors versus Rhea and Io. So on. Not bad. Just a building episode to the next long-term storytelling. That's a good way of looking at it. And you do have a valid point here. This Raw, I think I gave a 6 out of 10. And not because it was bad, but because I don't know. It was just kind of like, and so like I wasn't really fully, it was like I was entertained, but I wasn't engaged, and it's not like, I'm not saying it was a bad Raw, but I was like, it was a very forgettable Raw. But you are right, though. We're building here. We're laying foundations. And the problem is people are just so used to going on YouTube and checking the highlights. There just aren't a lot of highlights when you're just building stuff. But you need these building episodes. You need stuff where we build. Maybe there was just too much building and they could have had like 1 or 2 big things happen here. So it was maybe a necessary evil. You do have to have some lulls so you can get some highs. Dylan says, I hate this Seth faction. It's literally the same stuff every night. It's getting boring and it ain't working. They just need to find a way to end it. They're not ending it anytime soon. You know what the problem is they're trying so hard to be the Bloodline, right? And the Bloodline did a lot of stuff over and over again. People forget that. We have a very romanticized version of the Bloodline, but they did the same thing over and over again. But the difference is the Bloodline had a robust cast of characters, and they had backstage segments. They're not doing that with Seth Rollins' group. Honest to God, if they just had backstage segments and added somebody else to the group, we would very much enjoy it. If you're gonna copy the Bloodline, then copy the Bloodline. The most successful stuff that made the Bloodline were the backstage multiple segments throughout the show where everybody got to shine, not just Seth Rollins laughing. Cam Nami, they best not be breaking up the Kabuki Warriors. They're too good together. Nah, I think we're headed in the direction of the Kabuki Warriors versus Rhea and Io. So for now, they're together. W Potato, the Bronson Reed segment felt needed, but the timing could have happened a month or 2 ago. I mean, it could have, but then again, I think we're building to a singles match, so that's why they probably did it here as opposed to before SummerSlam. RKO says Becky was the best thing happening to Raw tonight. She went there and low-key bullied Maxxine. I agree. She went there, she bullied Maxxine all week long on social media. She was like burying her. It's like, it was great though, but she allowed Maxxine to have a good match with her. Like Becky, for real, she could have went to the office and said, I'm going to beat Maxxine in 60 seconds, and it would have even tracked with her character, but it was so much better this way because Maxxine was able to put some offense in, get some ring time in front of everybody. Tell me who was the last person that really said, give me a long match with Maxxine, who requested a long match with Maxxine Dupri. So props to Becky for A, helping younger talent, and B, burying that younger talent in storyline, because that might have been my favorite part of Raw. There was the backstage segments with Bronson Reed, Bayley, and Becky fighting Maxxine. It was just good stuff. Shazam Pazan, I hope they don't use this excuse to not have the Io-Naomi match before Clash at Paris. Yeah, they are going to use it. I'm just telling you, they're not going to repeat it. You can tell that this match was very important to Io's character story arc, in that Roxanne Perez definitely played the part of Naomi tonight, because just imagine if that had been Naomi instead of Roxanne Perez, because Io Sky and Asuka crashing out over a loss to Roxanne Perez doesn't make as much sense as if it was Naomi, because if it was Naomi, then Io lost her championship shot. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you can understand why tensions would be so high. But if it was just a random loss to Roxanne Perez, like, I don't know if that warrants a complete breakdown of a friendship. So, I believe that they are going to move on from this, and that is unfortunate. I just hope Naomi's okay for two reasons. A, you know, the person. I always value the person over the product, and I want Naomi to be good just because, you know, from human to human, I don't want anyone to be sick or injured. B, on a storyline level, oh man, it took her so long to get to the top with an awesome, amazing character. I would just hate if she has to relinquish that belt. God, I would hate that. She's my favorite character right now on WWE TV. Donatello Leonardo, not much to say about the show except that it was nice to see Punk and LA Knight understand the importance of not having 50-50 match against two monster heels. They actually made them look like real threats, unlike the match they had with Sami Zayn and Jey Uso. Okay, so what Donatello Leonardo is saying here is it wasn't a 50-50 match. It was literally the bad guys beating up the good guys most of the match. And I agree there. You want the bad guys to look tough and mean. And then when LA Knight, who got beat up almost the entire match, gets the hot tag, well, the crowd gets to pop. So it was that's Wrestling 101. And Bronson Reed's video promo was on point tonight. Big push for him if he gets to go one-on-one with Roman. Agree. Does not have to win, just the one-on-one. That is a huge accomplishment for Bronson Reed. Chris Gutierrez, no cross, won't watch, shrug emoji. Well, you know, WWE, you gotta hurt him in the pocketbook, so that is one valid way. Just make sure though, I would suggest that wherever Cross does land, you watch him there. Hopefully it's all a work. But if it's not, make sure to follow Cross and support him wherever he goes. Danny Lewis X giving Roman versus Reed at Paris confirmed. All right, so that person's okay with that match. Anthony Blakely says, I'm hoping that Naomi's not being medically cleared isn't another Seth Rollins ordeal. I honestly don't care if it's a Seth Rollins ordeal or not, because, like, you know, I don't know why it's so wrong to be worked. Who cares? Like, that's what wrestling is. Like, wrestling should be trying to work us actively. Like, if they tell me someone's injured and they're not, like, wrestling for all of eternity has been, it's like them trying to trick us. So I'm okay with being tricked. I do hope that Naomi is okay, though, because, God, I don't want her to relinquish the belt. Tiz Mickey, I'm pretty sure the Kabuki Warriors are turning on Io, that Io and Rhea are going to team up. That's how it does seem, and it seems like every year we take two of the big dogs of the women's division and pair them together for an extended amount of time. First, we had Bianca and Jade getting paired together, getting them out of the singles division. Then we had Liv Morgan getting paired with Raquel, which got Liv out of the singles division, and now it looks like we got Io and Rhea about to pair together and take them out of the singles division for 6 months to a year. We shall see, though. We shall see. Huffing and puffing. Seth was easily the best part of Raw tonight, and he was barely on the show. That or them allowing Roxanne a clean win over Io. Okay, I like the man. The man was the best part for me, and the Bayley promo, and same with the Bronson Reed. Plus, I just love when Grande Americano gets on TV time. I just love his mannerisms. He's so proper. Like, I love that Grande Americano has adapted to our culture, that he is so proper now. It's OTW. It only makes sense that Dom knows how to use a steel plate in his mask, considering he's the one that sent Chad Gable on his path to finding El Grande Americano. Finding El Grande Americano. I fixed your typo in there. It's OTW. I guess Hunter can long-term book. Fuzzy Nitrous. WWE needs more clean victories, especially with heels. Agreed. Tracy Woods, all this time without a name, and they go with The Vision. I guess it's not the worst name, but definitely not the best choice either. Yeah, that's a valid point. It's like 3 months. 3 months of faction without a name. That's insane to me. I still, like, how are you a visionary, Seth Rollins, if you can't even come up with a name for your faction? The Vision, that was it. Like, you could literally go on Chat GPT right now and come up, like, it would have gave you that way quicker than the 3 months it took you to be named. Roman Reigns acknowledged me. Bron Breakker saying Punk is 47 and LA Knight is 40. And combined, they're 100 years old. Low-key Steiner math, Easter egg. That was so funny. If you didn't catch it, Bron Breakker went out. He was about to go fight Seth and LA Knight by himself, and he got held back, and he's just screaming, right, into the camera. And he's like, they're old. They're old. What are they going to do? They're over 100 apiece, or they're over 100 combined. And they're not. So, and then Scott Steiner, his uncle, one time did the most hilarious promo ever in TNA. So if you don't know what Steiner math is, literally YouTube Google Steiner math and watch that promo. Oh my God, too, hashtag we want cross. Hashtag we want cross. Major Mario, Bronson should have stolen Jay's shoes too. Missed opportunity. Yeah, he should have. He should have. So, NYC, I didn't watch tonight, but I was wondering if the crowd was chanting, we want cross. Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, no. I think it's just because maybe the foreign audience, but like, I don't know. No, we want cross. Hopefully next week in Philly they do. Multitask guy, I wish they wouldn't break up Damage Control. Technically, they are broken up because I think Michael Cole keeps saying, hey, look, a Damage Control reunion. But I get what you're saying. You don't want them to, like, feud. But honestly, Asuka and Kairi are so much better as heels. Way better as heels. Ryan Creasy, hot take, it put me to sleep. Yeah, I can see that. I could, if if I wasn't streaming, I definitely would fall asleep. Main event Fro, Roxanne defeats Io Sky before Rhea is diabolical. I didn't look at it that way, but you're kind of right. Even though this should have been a Naomi win, the fact is, if I was Roxanne Perez, I would be saying that. Like, she should really make that part of her character. How I beat Io Sky. Rhea can't even do that. That would be hilarious, actually. Nada. I hope Bayley turns heel. She needs to remind these people what she's about. Man, that Bayley promo last night was so awesome. I know some people didn't like it, but I loved it. I loved it. Like, it might be because I kind of related. I've had some, like, issues in the past where, like, I was like, she's crashing out in a very internal way, and like it was very real and very raw. I heard laughter at the end though, and I'm really hoping they don't just try to copy paste Naomi's personality onto Bayley. We already got one unhinged psycho in the women's division. We don't need another. I want Bayley to be a very separate and unique person moving forward. I'm very happy but hesitant of that point. We don't need two Naomis. Naomi's good enough. We only need one. And even if she's injured, she'll be back. She'll be back. Let Bayley have a totally different character. But I'm very optimistic on this Bayley turn that we're about to see. Sky, Wonder Wolf. Fatal 4-way clash just for Seth to retain because Triple H is predictable. And I only watched the beginning of Raw and predicted a triple threat at Clash. And I was off by one because I didn't watch the rest of Raw. All right. I'll leave it at that. Dinaj Dev. WWE really needs to rework their current scripts. Remember how they stepped up when AEW first launched? Every weekly episode felt like a PLE because they were being pushed hard. The urgency is missing now. Yeah. The WWE, it's like they only get good when their back is against the wall. And I could use a little urgency. Thumbs Thigh Thatbury, Bayley is joining the Wyatt Six. That's a hot take if I ever heard one. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think Alexa Bliss would join before, but, who knows? They could. But they're on different brands, but then when has the brand split ever stopped anything? So, I don't know. I say no, but hey, you could be right. Hop, it's Hop. I love the end. Nothing like Punk getting beat down. Are you not a Punk fan, sir? Family-friendly PG guy says the show was pretty bad, 3 out of 10 at best. I gave it 6 out of 10. I probably should have went 5 because I was literally just like, I was like entertained but not entertained at the same time. So like maybe right down in the middle would have been the right call. But people tell me that I'm too middle of a guy. I need to pick a side. You need to either hate or love. I don't know. I'm very much I can see value in things while still seeing the negative, and sometimes that makes me come across like, I don't know, I guess I'm too nice. I need to be meaner. I need to hate more. Give me Goldberg. Show me Goldberg. I'll show you some hate. And then we got Skywalker 3. Penta should keep Woods' big hat. Imagine it in his entrance. You're right, actually. Side note, Xavier Woods had the smallest hat in the world this week, and that was hilarious compared to his huge hat last week. And you are right. Like, if anyone could make a feud on a hat work, it would be the New Day. And while they are in this little feud, this mini feud, Penta should wear that hat. I could see Penta doing the Penta walk with that stupid hat. That is awesome and hilarious. Okay, yeah, I like that. I like that, Skywalker, and I like all of you beautiful people. Those are your hot takes for Monday Night Raw. Appreciate you, and I'll see you tomorrow for tomorrow's video. Don't forget the Chop Shop down below. Merchandise being sold now. I stole that name. Somebody in another video said it, and I love it, so the Chop Shop is open. Boys, girls, have yourselves a great day.